Have you ever felt like you're doing all the things in your business, posting on social media, responding to DMs, emails, creating offers, and yet the results are still inconsistent? If that's you, you're not alone. Almost every entrepreneur I work with, especially women balancing business and family, ask me the same set of questions. So today, I want to answer the top 5 questions that could literally change how you run your business without adding more hours to your day or sacrificing your sanity. And by the end of this episode, you'll walk away with clear answers and strategies that you can actually implement. And by the way, if consistent client is something that you've been struggling with, I have a free training that goes deeper into this. It's called the Lead Generation Masterclass, and in it, I'll walk you through how to attract leads and turn them into paying clients without chasing algorithms all day. You can grab your free spot in the link in the description below. All right, let's get into the first question. This is probably the number one question I get. And I get it. You don't want your revenue or your profit tied to whether an IG algorithm favors you today. And here's the proof. Social media should be the top of funnel, not your entire funnel. So the real key is building evergreen lead assets, things like your lead magnet, an email nurture sequence, or a simple automated funnel that keep working for you whether or not you're online. And this is exactly why I always say focus on assets, not algorithm. When you create a system that collect leads, nurture them, and convert them into clients, you don't have to hustle for every sale. For example, one of my clients, she is in the financial advisory industry. So prior to working with me, she has always been running ads. And then she said that every time she would, of course, people would fill in her form on her Meta form, and she would get back to these people because they have filled in the form. But more often than not, but even these people have filled in a Meta ads form and saying that, hey, I might be interested to be contacted. Every time they call them back, 70% of the people either say, I'm no longer interested, or who are you? They've forgotten that they have filled in the form. So what we did is, instead of, yes, it's great to have a meta form to capture your leads, but it's even better if you have an entire ecosystem, right? So you're using ads or social media to attract these people. They need to know you beyond what is that immediate, like, we got a promo or something like that. So you're using your personal brand to attract them, to capture them already, right? So yes, instead of having to manually call people back one-on-one, after we set up the system for her, in fact, she would not need to get on a call until later in the funnel when they're fully qualified. And once we have set this up for her, she now takes less call and close way higher. And beyond just about, freeing up your time and closing more, it's also about, I always feel that it's always also about how you enjoy your work. When you have a system that works for you, right, to continue these leads up to a point where they know you better and now they're ready to get on a call, right? They book a time to get on a call. And even while they're waiting to get on a call with you, we're constantly still nurturing them, getting them excited about this call with you. They will show up more and easier for you to then have that sales conversation or whatever it is that you can help them. So I think in a way, when people know you and when you have a system to help you nurture people and talk to people, it just makes your life so much easier, right? You're playing at a completely different game from the rest of the insurance agent out there, right? You become the expert and people value the advice of the expert. And this makes her life and this makes her everyday job way more enjoyable. This one hits home for so many moms I coach, and the fear is real. I felt that before too. You want to grow, but not at the expense of your kids, your health, or your sanity. And here's the thing, growth doesn't come from doing more, it actually comes from doing less better. Remember, now that we are a business owner, we need to get away from the employee mindset. Our income is no longer correlated with the amount of hours you work. You're no longer being paid by the numbers of from 9 to 5 because you're there at work, and also it's no longer how to say being compensated by how much you can produce and do for the company. Okay. So it really comes down to doing less but better. And the way you achieve that is through systems and boundaries. For example, instead of saying yes to every client, you create signature offers that allow you to deliver consistent results in less time. So you stop trading hours for dollars and start building repeatable processes. And that's how you can scale your business while being present for your family. So one of the example that I can give you in this case is another one of my client. He is a golf coach. So of course his income is tied to the events that he's running, the boot camp, the one-on-one coaching. There is a cap, right? No matter how booked out you are, how popular you are, how high you are charging per hour coaching session, there is a limited hours to our days. So what we did is together we come up with coaching program for things that he would teach people anyway. Give it a framework, give it a name. We shoot the video right over a weekend, have them edited, and put them on a membership platform. So now, a lot of the leads that he's getting from his YouTube channel, instead of driving people to either where he coaches one on one, we're driving people to his landing page where they can view free videos, a sample of a few videos of the entire course, and then upsell them into the online coaching program. And this has free his hours up, obviously, and also give him that additional income even when he's not teaching these people. And the great thing is because these people have already spent, an amount of money with you, right? Which is probably most likely most of the time your online course is not. It doesn't cost as much as a one-on-one lesson with you. And a lot of time when people spend this little money and they've learned something from you, you've given them power, and they now trust you that um, Rob taught me this and this, and now it's been and it worked, right? You're giving power to these people to learn on their own. And now that they trust you even more, next time you're running a retreat to take them to Spain or anything, they are more likely to sign up to that next offer of yours. Ah, the competition question. The online space or offline space, whichever industry you're in, is crowded, of course, right? Because there's money to be made. But the truth is, no one else has your story, your approach, or your perspective. And standing out is not about shouting louder, it's about clarity. Who you serve, the problem you solve, and why your way is different. And this is where authority comes in. When you package your story and your expertise into a clear brand narrative, people stop comparing you based on price and start choosing you on your value. And this is why we teach mompreneurs inside our in-demand client getting system. One of the very first thing we teach them is how they pitch themselves powerfully, having a clear clarity, because sometimes it's how you pitch yourself, how you carry yourself that gives that perception on how much you could charge or how valuable other people perceive you. For example, I have this client initially when let's say she goes out and meet people and people ask her what she does, she often just say, oh, I'm a lawyer, right? Okay, you're a lawyer. That's it, right? You're not giving people context about what's unique about you. So after working together, now what she says is, I help people I help businesses protect the trademark so that they can take this and expand this internationally. I so when you say things like that, it clearly position you as an authority rather than, oh yeah, in law I do this. I also help with divorces, law, marriage. I help with your trademarks. I help with contracts. I do everything. When you say, oh, I can help everyone and I do everything, that's a worker bee, right? People see you as, oh, she does everything. Typically, who does everything? People don't value people who are able to do. I mean, yes, technically we are able to do everything, right? If you really think about it, a doctor, a GP, they can pretty much treat every kind of illnesses. I mean, you tell them any symptoms, they are able to diagnose it and give you the right medication, right? But who is valued more? Is it a generalist, which is like a GP, right? A lawyer who could do everything? Or is it a specialist? How you help people, right? So if you have serious illness about something, you probably want to go to a specialist, and therefore specialist is generally being paid more than a generalist. So how you pitch yourself, how you stand out is not by being a generalist, and to be clear about what it is that you do. Okay, this is a good question. Let's be honest, most entrepreneurs are drowning in tools already. They've got a scheduling app, they got an email tool, a landing page builder, a payment processor. And most of the time, none of these talk to one another. And the results is more stress, right? More about checking this thing and then checking that thing. Therefore, Ampli 360 comes in. And this, I'm very excited about this because this is the reason why I started this all-in-one business platform, is really to help you get that streamlined client getting system with just one login. Every time you set up a form, the form automatically is already connected to your CRM system. It automatically, you can now create your automated email sequence. And when you need to, and let's say when you want people to book a call with you, it automatically already connected to that person's EDM, connected to your personal calendar. Everything's just talks. All you need to do is just set up that one time login. So you don't even have to spend money on Zapiers and all these other tools for all these things to talk. And also, like, sometimes how access to one thing has expired and you need to log in 3 places to make sure it's connected again. So what I'm really saying is real solution isn't having more tools, it's having the right system, a holistic setup where your marketing, sales, and client delivery connects. And that way you're not constantly juggling tasks or having to babysit your business. And that's why I'm such a big believer in creating a streamlined client getting system, because when your tools work together, that's when you can finally get your time back. All right, this is another big one. So many women that I meet are stuck in this cycle of trading time for money, whether that's in service, freelance work, or many times once-off projects. And the key to breaking that cycle is turning what you know into assets, right? Maybe that's a course, that's a group program, or a subscription, or a digital product. Maybe something that can be sold over and over again without needing more of your time. And once you have that offer, to plug that into your client getting system, that's how you go from inconsistent revenue to predictable income, from hustling 24/7 to building real business freedom. In fact, one of my clients, what she does is she helps businesses register the business, right? They have problem registering, they're having problem with certain documentation. So that's what she used to do for the past 15 years. And as we all know, trying to get a new customer or a new lead is expensive and it's time consuming. And all she does is offer this one thing. Right. And her recurring, right? Her, she was doing all of this manually for the past 15 years. She says is stable, but it's capped. For the longest time, she's felt like, I don't need to invest in all this thing. Sometimes I don't get a lot of customers anyway. It's all come through referral. And whenever it's up for renewal, when your ACRA is up for renewal, then she was she will help you reapply or, get back a new accurate number, right? So it's very painful and slow. So all we did was helping her looking at what you are already helping these businesses register the business. And we know that new businesses has a lot more things that they need to learn or do to grow the business. What else can you offer? And she was saying, oh, yeah, of course I can offer secretarial service, accountant, bookkeeping, accountancy, tax refund. I'm like, yeah, simple. Why didn't you do it? Right. And then she was like, oh, but that's not my area of expertise. Right. Of course, there's a lot of excuse because she's so used to doing that one thing for 15 years. For me to just come on and say, oh, it's easy, right? Just do all of this. That's a lot of fear for change and maybe a little bit of denial that really it could be so simple and I did not do it. But of course, right? She done it. We really help her. She said it's not her area of expertise. Rightfully so. We can't be an expert in everything. So we help her look for ways to find partners that where she can package this together and offer all this, right? She doesn't, as a business owner, you don't need to be the service provider or you don't need to be the service delivery person. You can hire or you can partner with other experts to do it. So that's what we did for her and repackage all her offer so that every time a new lead, right, that's already trusted her and needed her project, it's very easy for them to just say yes to all these other offers that she now provides, and that increase that customer lifetime value for her, right? And especially when you are offering that much to one person, the more value that you can give her, the more you help her solve her problem that she doesn't need to go and talk to this other person as an accountant, another person to file her tax return, the more sticky it would be. And that also means that the more they are going to renew their contracts or subscription with you. So let's recap. So if you've been wondering how to get consistent clients without relying on social media, how to grow without burning out or sacrificing your family, how to stand out in a crowded market, which systems actually save you time, and how to turn your skills into scalable income, the answers all come back to this: build assets, set up automation, and step into your authority. That is the blueprint for becoming an in demand entrepreneur. And if this resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel or share it with a fellow entrepreneur who needs to hear it. And if you want to dive deeper into building your own client getting system, click on the link below, book a call with my team, and see whether we are the right person to help you do so. Remember, you don't need to outwork everyone else. You just need the right system that let your business work for you.